Okay, what I want to look at doing here with this graph is I'm trying to find slope. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a right triangle to help me do that. Because finding slope is all about finding our rise over our run. And remember, the rise is up or down, and the run, rise is up or down, the run is if I'm going right or left. So that's how I'm kind of figuring out this rise over run. So before I can start and do anything, I need to find 2 points that are on my line. So what I'm going to look for is I'm going to look for where does that diagonal line, or our diagonal line that we have, hit kind of the 4 corners here and give us a good point. So I'm going to pick these 2 points, but you could pick any points that are on the graph and you can see that this would work. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come across and I'm going to make a right triangle. Okay, a little sloppy, but he's a right triangle still, right? We won't judge him. So here's my right triangle. Now that I have that, I can start to look and find my rise over run. So what I want to do is I want to say first, well, what is the rise? The rise is going to be right here, the up and down, how far it went, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 units. That's my rise. My run is my going across, so that's here at the bottom. And that's, if I'm starting from the edge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 units. So what I have here is I have a rise of 4 and a run of 8. Now, something to pay attention to. There's 2 different kind of schools of thought. What I like to look at is I like to look at the fact that since my arrow is going down, or my line is going down from left to right, that's going to let me know I have a negative slope. What some people will also say is, well, since your 4 units is 4 units down, that 4 becomes a negative 4. Different ways to think about it. I'm going to go with it in mind of me knowing that my slope is going to be negative because of the direction of my line. So I have 4/8 for my rise over run. First thing is I always have to reduce it. I can divide both of these by 2. And that's going to give me 1/2. So that tells me that's my slope. But remember, my slope has to be negative. So if I'm finding my slope, since my line goes down, I know it's a negative slope, and it's a negative 1/2 because there's my rise over run. So that's how we're using our right triangles to help us find some slope.